We've seen the PMT function in action and how that works out what your payments are based on borrowing amount, number of payments, and an annual interest rate. And it can work out what your payments are over that term. So this will be 60 payments at that amount. However, on occasions, it might not be the payment amount you're trying to work out. It might be, what's the interest rate? I know how many payments I've got to make. I know how much I've got to pay each month. I know what I borrowed, but I don't know what the interest rate is. I can't find the documentation. Or we can get Excel to work out the interest rate. It may be that you're trying to work out what the number of payments are. You know how much your payments are, how much you borrowed, what the interest rate is, but you don't know how many payments you've got to make. It may be that you're trying to work out how much you can borrow based on a monthly payment, number of months, and an interest rate. So each of these three different values can be calculated. So you know three of the variables, let's work out the fourth. Just so happens that in each of these cases, fourth variable is a different item. Here it was the PMT, the payment. Here is the rate. Here it's the number of payments. And here it's the amount to borrow. And each of these three items are just three different formulas. So let's have a look at how those formulas work. Well, the formula for working out the rate, surprise, surprise, is called rate. So into our cell here, we type equals rate, open brackets. The N per is the number of payments. So that's this cell here, comma. The payment is this cell here, comma. And the starting value is this cell here, close bracket. However, because our payments and our payment amount is a monthly item, we need to then multiply the rate by 12 to turn that into an APR, an annual interest rate, and return. That's actually 44%. If I borrow $12,000, make 60 payments of 5 years, and I'm paying $500 a month, my interest is 44%. It's a very high interest rate. But as I alter these, perhaps I could get a low monthly payment and I can see the interest rate changes. If I were to pay $300 a month over 4 years, it makes it an even lower interest rate. This is rate. Let's take that formula and place it down here so we can see that in action. The next formula to work out the number of payments is N per. So N per equals N per, the number of payments, open brackets, the rate. We need to divide the rate by 12 because the rate in that cell is an annual percentage rate, not a rate per payment period, comma, the payment, comma, the initial value, close brackets, return. Because we are dealing with whole months, let's take away all the decimal places on that. So paying $400 a month on an initial $12,000 loan at 18% APR would take 40 payments to pay the whole amount plus the interest. If the interest rate dropped, then at $400 a month, I could pay it in less time. Perhaps I could borrow more. $20,000 would take 65 months at $400 a month. So that's the N per. So let's take that formula and again place it down here so we can see it. Narrow these dividing ones up. And the last part of this is to find the amount borrowed, knowing again the other three variables. So the amount borrowed is the PV, open brackets, the rate, again divided by 12, because our rate is being quoted per year, not per payment period, comma, number of payments, comma, our actual monthly payment, close brackets, and the PV there is 17,721.12. If you went to a bank and you know their interest rate, and they might be wanting to charge you, for example, 12.5%. We need some decimal places on that cell. They want to charge 12.5%. You are able to pay $675 per month over 6 years. They would be willing to lend you an initial amount of $34,071. So that's the PV. This calculates the initial amount if you know the other three variables. So if you know the interest rate, the number of payments, and the payment amount. So this effectively the same formula really, but looking at calculating different parts of it. The PMT works out the monthly payment if you know the three variables here. The rate works out the rate if you know those three variables, so the number of payments, the amount borrowed, and the monthly payment. The N per works out the number of payments if you know the rate, the amount borrowed, and the monthly payment. And the PV works out the amount borrowed, or the potential amount you would like to borrow, if you know the interest rate, number of payments, and the amount per month. So as a whole, they make a little loan family.